What is up? What is up, everybody? It is Wild Card Weekend. I hope everyone's enjoying it so far. We had a not a pretty close game. It was a blowout. I'll admit it. Colts versus Texans. We do have some bad news. Two bad news. You could say two things of bad news. I guess you could say one, as you. I don't know if you've already noticed. No, we don't have Jackson. And two, our special guest will not be on the show today. He'll be on the show Tuesday. That is going to be a very interesting show. So make sure to tune in for that. I guarantee you that you will like it. If you like basketball, you might know who this dude is. He doesn't play basketball, but he has a huge role in college and high school basketball. A very big role. So make sure to tune in for that. That's all we're saying. Maybe big baller brand alert. It's too much said. Sam, how's your weekend going?
It was pretty good. Uh, also, I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I can go undefeated today in playoff picks. I got the Colts. Didn't you have the Texans last week?
I don't remember. I don't I picked
I think
the
you did.
Colts and everything else.
I had the Colts and I had the Cowboys, and I'll have to check, but I think
I
the
had the
Cowboys ended up.
Seahawks, I have the Ravens, and then I had the Eagles. I do know those.
Yeah,
Speaking
right
of the
now, if the game is right now, I'd be 2-0 on my picks.
well, it's 3-0. Speaking of the Cowboys game, Allen Hurns did have a scary injury. Prayers go up to him. It's gonna be a long recovery. But speaking of the Colts and Texans, that was an ugly game for the Texans. They were not well prepared. Did you have any time to watch that game?
Oh yeah, I did watch the game, and
What were your thoughts about it?
overall, I mean, Andrew Luck basically just tore their defense apart, and um, I mean, he's kind of slowing down, pump the brakes on the Deshaun Watson hype train. I mean, the guy doesn't have a great of an O line, but he showed weaknesses today, and it's kind of over the past year, it's everyone's jumping on his hype train. I think it's time to pump the brakes a little bit because I mean they extremely struggled against the Colts, and the Colts have a solid defense, but it's not one to where you should uh, you know put up that performance against them.
Yeah. Next up, we got Colts. I mean, yeah. Colts winning. They're the sixth seed. We're the one seed, so that means the Kansas City Chiefs will face the Colts next Saturday at 3:35 Central Time on NBC. If I think so, probably wrong. Who knows? But they do face the Colts. That is guaranteed. What are your thoughts on that game? No score predictions. Don't say who you like. I mean, don't say who you think's gonna win. But do you think this will be a good game?
I think it will be a good game, but I think it's very important that people realize that in the Colts game, they're up 21-0 at halftime, I believe, if I'm
Yeah,
correct. So
21.
they scored 0 points in the second half. And so their offense went, I mean, very cold. And I don't think it's necessarily their head coach. I just think they, had a bad second half. So if they can, I mean, if they stutter at all, because our offense, let's be real, it's not going to stutter. It never does. So if the Colts offense stutters at all, we're going to win the game. I mean, in my opinion, that's just how it is. And they had a whole second half where they didn't score a single point. I mean, they probably
All
can't
right.
go two
Wait,
drives in
wait,
a row.
wait, wait. I think we might have some good news. Jackson, are you there?
I am.
Wow. All right. Never mind, guys. Jackson's back. All right. Sam, sorry. Had to make sure Jackson just didn't randomly join and he couldn't talk. Sorry, Sam.
Oh, you're good. But I was just basically stating, I mean, your offense has to score at least, I mean, once every two drives to even have a chance against the Chiefs, and they didn't score the entire second half. So I'm pretty comfortable as a Chiefs fan because the Colts didn't even score a point in the second half, so that makes me feel better about the Chiefs' chances of winning.
Jackson, what are your thoughts about the game coming up next Saturday since it already is figured out? Colts versus Chiefs. Don't say who you think's going to win or a score prediction. What are your thoughts about the game?
Um, I just think that it's going to be vital to score a lot of points because our defense is going to struggle a lot versus Marlon Mack and Andrew Luck. Honestly, I think that's we're just going have to win a shootout. If we're gonna win the game, we're gonna have to win in a shootout fashion because
which we have not been able to. It looks like.
we've struggled doing that. Our defense is gonna have a bad day versus Andrew Luck.
Yeah, it will be a shootout. I totally agree. Do not expect a blowout. Do not, but it's gonna be a good game. This is a good one versus 6 seed matchup. Next up, we got Colts and Ravens. I know we kind of talked about it on Tuesday, but
Colts, Chargers, and Ravens.
Chargers and Ravens. Excuse me, but I know we kind of touched up on it on Tuesday. But who do you see winning this game, and who's your guys' X factor? Jackson, we'll start off with you.
All right. I have the Chargers winning this game tomorrow. I think they're a very complete football team, and Lamar Jackson's one of those guys that it's hard to play him the first time around, but I feel like after you get to play him once, you kind of figure him out a little. And if you can force him to drop back and pass, you're probably going to win the game because he's not a really good passer.
All the teams say that, but they don't. They can't.
How many teams? Exactly. But how many teams have gotten to play Baltimore twice in the Lamar Jackson?
Okay, I was about to say.
Era?
You could probably find.
This is the first time someone gets to see him a second time around, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay. Something I did see. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Something I did see. If Lamar Jackson was able to start, let's say 10 games, would you give him Rookie of the Year?
No. I would say Baker would be above him, and Saquon's above both of them. So.
Oh, I was about to say, you switched over to Baker finally?
Definitely not.
I mean, the best rookie quarterback was Baker. I'll say that.
Did you guys see that video of Melvin Gordon being in an Uber and the Uber driver did not know that?
That's insane. That's insane.
And then he turned on him and said, "Hey, can I get your autograph and a picture?" Thought that was pretty funny.
No, he did say. I believe the Uber driver did say, "Yeah, he all right. Yeah. Referencing. So I mean, he wasn't like completely trashing him, but he was trashing Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam? You say you have the Chargers in this game too, right?
No, I have the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, the Ravens. Okay, I do too. But who's your X factor?
I mean, it's kind of hard to decide, but I'm gonna go with Gus the Bus. That guy's basically, I mean, not necessarily Gus the Bus, just the run game as a whole. It's very important that they maintain clock and that they run the clock because, I mean, the Ravens, that's what gets them winning is if they control the clock. And that really starts like Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson. So if they can really just run the ball down the Chargers' throats, I feel like they'll easily be able to win with their great defense.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go to it again. The X factor in this game is time of possession. It's that simple for the Ravens. They're number one in time of possession with 32 minutes per game, averaging. That's like very, very good. If you guys don't know that, the Ravens can hold this ball for more than 40 minutes, which is very possible. I see them easily winning. But let's get on the next game. Eagles and Bears. Jackson, who do you see winning this game, and who's your X factor?
I'm gonna go. I like Philly a lot and Nick Foles, but I'm gonna go with the Bears because I think their defense is just so good, and I think Philly's depleted secondary is gonna hurt. Even though I said earlier in the week that Trubisky can't really throw very well, I don't really fear him as a passer. They really do set him up in great situations to where he doesn't have to make too big of a pass or too tough of a pass. He just has to make a simple, 5-yard, 10-yard pass, and they can do the rest. And Matt Nagy's an offensive guru, so I think that's going to help them. I think they'll get just enough. But definitely my X factor tomorrow is going to be Mitchell Trubisky because if he doesn't show up and he plays kind of slack, he plays like kind of he did his rookie year.
Yeah, I was about to say he plays rookie year.
Yeah, then they're in a lot of trouble. But if he can play like he's been playing this year, I think the Bears should win.
All right, Sam.
All right, I'm gonna stick with my guts. Nothing's really changed. I was considering maybe a little change of thought, and on my KC account, picking the game tomorrow. I was considering putting the Bears, but I'm gonna stick with my guns, going with the Eagles because, frankly, they got the same QB that won the Super Bowl, same head coach, and
but
same leadership roles.
Isn't the same.
It isn't the same, but I totally agree with that. But I mean, they're at a level where they're still a Super Bowl caliber team. And they're going up against an unexperienced QB, and then a running back who's never been in the playoffs. And basically, I mean, their team's really young, but again, that can come back and hurt you. I think, I think you mentioned Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's really going to struggle. And I'm not saying that Bears defense is going to struggle. I think the Bears defense will be good, but I just don't think the Bears offense will be good enough. So I have the X factor being Nick Foles, and if he can just get the ball in the end zone, I'd say twice. I'd have him winning that game with a few extra field goals. I'd have them winning.
Yeah, my X factor. I have the Eagles winning as well. I literally had Siri flip a coin for me. This game is going to be very close, I think. But my X factor, I want to say Nick Foles, but to be honest, it's Zach Ertz.
True.
He is very key for this team. If he does not perform, the team does not perform. He's a top 3 tight end. You need him to win.
Yeah, and Philly really does good on that because not a lot of linebackers can guard him. But I would honestly say that I think Khalil Mack could guard him.
We'll see tomorrow. Over this past week, there's been so much Antonio Brown drama. People saying he wants traded. Mike Tomlin saying he's not traded. 2 questions. 1, do you think Antonio Brown actually wants out of Pittsburgh?
I think he does want out.
Okay, actually 3. Part B to that question. Do you think he will get out?
No.
All right, Sam?
All right, first, I think he does want out, and then I heard their price tag is really high, but let's be real. I think AB would be a fool to want to leave Pittsburgh. It's almost a guaranteed contender. They're always on the brink of making the playoffs, and usually they do make the playoffs. So he'd be a complete fool, competition-wise, to leave that team and go to the Jets or another team because, he's already in a good situation. He's, in the current situation he's a current Hall of Famer. A future Hall of Famer, and debatably, one of the best receivers to play the game. So
can you get a little closer to your mic, Sam? I can
leave. He's acting really foolish, and he's messing around with liking 49ers stuff on Instagram just to play with people's heads. So I think I don't support what he's doing. I think it's a little childish, but I do really think he does one out. But I think that's a really dumb decision.
Can you get a little closer to your mic, Sam? We could barely hear you.
I think there is one way to look at it, that after Ben retires, that quarterback situation is going to be horrible. So
yeah.
He may just be thinking ahead.
Pittsburgh's screwed when Big Ben's gone.
They're screwed right now. This team is in a bad spot.
Yeah. Someone said if this was a TV show, that would be the best TV show that would ever come on. And I would agree. I would love to watch that show.
Yeah. No, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Someone said, what if you just swapped OBJ and Antonio Brown? Who's the bigger diva?
The bigger diva is
AB, in my opinion.
It's a good question. Who's a bigger diva? And you don't want to be known as a diva in the NFL.
I don't even really consider Odell as a huge diva anymore.
Okay, last year that was the biggest. He was a huge diva.
How?
Didn't he kick a field goal net and then he started
That was his rookie year, I'm pretty sure.
No.
That was last year.
That was last year. His rookie year.
He only played 4 games last year.
Yeah, 4 very eventful games.
He's just a competitor, though, in my opinion. I'm glad he has a fire in him. AB is just a complete jerk.
He's not a jerk.
He's Le'Veon 2.0.
No, Le'Veon Bell.
There's nobody
I don't
that
blame
can
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah. Listen, he felt he was worth more than that, and so he said, "Fine, I'll bet on myself."
It's good on his part and bad on his part at the same time. He's saying he wants to make sure he's getting paid because there could be a chance he does get injured and he doesn't have that much guaranteed money. But at the same time, you need to play for your team if you're a real team person.
Yeah, I'm just saying AB. I think he's more of a diva than Odell because Odell is always on the field and stuff, and he's he tells you how he feels. AB is one of those guys that once the season's over, he'll stab you in the back, and he did that to Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger. So I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not really a huge fan of either, to be honest.
Where do you guys see Le'Veon Bell landing?
Jets.
Because I don't think the Colts need him anymore. They got a good running back.
He'll go to the Jets, hands down.
Maybe.
What if he goes to the Browns?
I mean, they don't need one. They've got
Nick Chubb.
And who else do they have? They have another running back, don't they?
They do, but I mean, I can only think of Nick Chubb.
Not Carlos Hyde. They traded him.
Yep.
I can't think.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I feel like they do have another guy though that's pretty good.
Yeah, but Nick Chubb is their main dude now.
Yeah, and I mean he's good.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, you're talking about Duke Johnson?
Yeah, Duke Johnson.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean they have two really good running backs.
Yeah, the Browns will be pretty good, fun to watch next year. But I could see Bell landing with the Jets, but I don't know if that's where he wants to go. I feel like Bell is a player that wants to go win a championship right away.
He wants the money.
Yeah, but the thing is he gave up the season whenever they're like 7-2 or something, and he's like, I'm not. I mean, they were like prime Super Bowl contenders at the time he didn't sign.
They were 7-2, and now
he cares about the money.
Then they finished like what 1-4.
What?
I like how you brought that up. They were like 7-2, 7-2-1. So that's 10 games, and their last 6 games they went like 1-5, right?
Mm-hmm. They was not good. I think they won like 2 after that. It was bad.
It was bad. All right, this is a pretty short podcast. Next Tuesday definitely gonna be a long one since we will have a special guest. Saturday, let me tell you, if the Chiefs lose, you are gonna be in for a great podcast.
Oh boy!
And if the Chiefs wins, I feel like you still are in for a good podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Either way,
we're gonna have some good podcasts. But let's get into some questions asked from you guys, the fans. If anyone in the comment section right now has a question, please let us know. And if you guys haven't already, drop a like on this button, on this video. Yeah, on this button. But this is coming from Bat Moose. When do you think the Royals will be in postseason form? Jackson, you run a Royals fan page account. How about you start us off?
Yeah, hit me up with that follow, royals.kingdom. But I think they'll be in contention 2021 to do actual damage. I think they'll have a winning record. Maybe not a winning, but I think they'll be close in 2020. I think it's kind of just building up right now. This year's going to be another rough one, I think. Not as rough as last year, but I do think this one's going to be pretty rough too. Because, I don't know, man. I look at our pitching staff, and I don't love it. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's like, eh.
If they play like they did in August and September, this team's going to be fun to watch.
But I don't think they can. I don't know if they can do that for an entire season. I really it was nice to watch.
It was fun to watch.
Those were the best months of the season. And I thought a lot of it was getting the old guys out and bringing the young guys in that were actually excited to play, because the older guys kind of were just slouching around I already have my paycheck. Might as well just, and I'll half-ass it. And that's I'm not accusing them of it, but that's because they really weren't doing anything.
Hey,
and then
another note. We only got one more year, boys, and Gordo's gone. One more year.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Gordo's bat was very bad. He had a better year this year than the first 2 years of this contract, but I mean, he'll
That's
definitely
not saying much.
He'll definitely be a Royals Hall. I still appreciate him.
Yeah.
And I think he can teach some of these younger guys stuff. But I want to talk about something yesterday. We signed Kyle Zimmer again.
Yeah, and really designated for it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So I mean, Cuthbert, let's be real. Cuthbert was really never gonna be much on our team anyway.
He was only there for when Moose was hurt.
Yeah, I hope he finds another place and maybe gets a role. But it's interesting because I think Kyle Zimmer's gonna make his MLB debut this season. I really do.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, injuries always have bit him in the butt.
Sam, when do you see us making the postseason and being back in postseason form?
Being back in postseason form, I feel like it's pretty much similar, but at the same time, it's whether we can compete in the postseason or if we can make the postseason. So I've seen postseason form as whenever we can potentially make the postseason, not whether we can contend or not. I would say, and not this year, but next year, I could see us potentially getting in the wild card. I don't think we'll be.
I think we could. I think winning the division is easier than getting the wild card for us.
The division's horrible.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I'd rather. I think it's way easier to win the division than get the wild card.
But on the flip side of that, this division is going to be the hardest one to win in a couple of years.
So much talent's coming up.
Stacked. The only team that's not going to be really relevant is the Indians. And you kind of see them. They're kind of giving up right now. They're trying to trade Kluber for prospects and stuff. They kind of realize that their window's closing pretty soon.
Yeah, they have their 2-year window. It's going to be a crapshoot.
This year, honestly, it'll be almost a crapshoot.
So who do you think's going to win the division? Early pick.
Okay, honestly, I have no idea. I could because
this is going to be the worst.
Going to the playoffs. Someone's going to the playoffs from our division.
Yeah,
someone has to.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody deserves it, but someone has to.
Okay, I'm counting the White Sox out unless they get potentially Machado. Then maybe they.
What if they get Harper?
They don't get Harper. They ain't gonna get him. I want to be biased to say the Royals could do it, but honestly, any team in our division could do it because Cleveland's regressing,
Twins,
Detroit's regressing, the White Sox and Royals are rising.
Twins are the most likely team.
Oh, Twins! Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about them. But
yeah,
the Twins are struggling as well.
They're promising. They were very promising.
They could get back though. They had one bad year, but the year before that they were really good.
Yeah, they're a really good second half team.
And
the Twins have been selling off their talent though.
I'm gonna say this though. My prediction to win the division is gonna be the Twins, because I think they have the youngest talent potentially. And
I can see this being a 2014 Royals team.
I don't want to compare anyone to that.
That's a wild card team. I'm not saying they're gonna be great. I'm just saying they're not gonna I don't see them having they're gonna barely make it.
I can see the Royals making the playoffs this year, but I think next year.
I can't.
I want to, but I don't think they can.
They're not very good.
They might make it next year. They might make it next year.
I'm not basing it off the Royals' skill. I'm basing it off the lack of division competition. Yeah. Honestly, you don't even know if someone will be over 500 in our division.
I'm sure someone will.
Someone will be 85 wins, and that's probably the worst record to win the division ever, probably.
I don't know, man, because the Twins just got Nelson Cruz, so I feel like that's going to help
a lot. That's a good point.
I mean, they also lost Hunter Dozier, and Sano's playing terrible.
I know, but I feel like Sano could get. I feel like Sano's eventually going to become something. And I feel like
that's what they thought last year.
They got Buxton who can actually play. Eddie Rosario is tearing it up.
I've been hoping for him so long. I want to see them.
Yeah, I know. I want to see. But if it's not the Twins, I honestly do think it's the White Sox. I really like the White Sox.
Didn't the White Sox finish 5 games ahead of us?
They did, but listen, they're way farther into their rebuild than we are, and
their rebuild has been 7 years long.
Listen, though, I'm telling you, I see this team, and this is probably going to sound idiotic come September, but I really do see this team getting a lot better. I think Abreu's a stud at first base.
Good thing I'm getting this podcast recorded.
Monsida, I don't know how to say his name, but I mean
Moncada. Dude,
don't tell me you were trying to say Moncada. Don't tell me you were trying to say Moncada.
Same thing, bro.
Monsida.
Dude, I think the White Sox may have a worse record than the Royals this year. The rebuild is complete crap.
Yona Moncada did terrible last year.
I mean,
had the most errors, had probably the worst batting average.
He made
Elroy
Jimenez, or however you say his name. He's promising.
I'm telling you, man. But it's the most likely winner would be Cleveland, because they still do have probably the best roster. Francisco Lindor and Jose Ramirez are studs.
Yeah, but this is their last year. I give them one more.
And I really doubt that Kluber actually gets dealt. So, I mean, this is all kind of fantasy. If I had to bet my life on it, I'd bet. But I don't, so I'm going to bet the Twins. Actually, I don't want to take up too much time here, but I do already have my preseason predictions for this division. I made them about a week ago. And I have the Tigers in last, us in fourth, Twins in third, White Sox in second, Indians in first.
You really think the White Sox are going to do that good?
I mean, I don't know. I have them at 80 and 82.
That's second place.
First place
True.
was
That's
88
that's
and
probably like
74.
fourth in any other division.
80 and 82 is not horrible.
82 is probably third in most divisions.
Yeah.
What do you have the Royals as?
72 and 90.
Oh, come on, have some faith.
All right.
I'm kidding,
Hey,
I'm
hey,
kidding,
I
I'm
still
kidding,
haven't
I'm
even
kidding, I'm
said
kidding.
my answer.
Who's your answer? Who do you got winning?
What?
Who do you got winning the division?
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about when do I think the Royals will be in postseason form still.
Oh.
You can answer that too. Just
Well, I think the Royals are back in postseason form next year. Do I think they'll make the postseason next year? No. I can see this being a 2013 season next year when we're in it in the last week, but then we lose.
Oh, okay, I got you.
yeah.
I can see that happening. But then the year after that, I can see us making the playoffs. But I like how you said that we would have 72 wins. The next question's coming from Kellen. He says, will the Royals have a 75-win season or better next year? Jackson? Your answer is no.
I mean, my answer is no, but I mean, it's possible. They'd have to play.
That's literally
better
like 3 games a team does bad.
Yeah. Listen, though, I mean, we just won 58. Like, how am I supposed to think we're going to be anywhere close to 500?
Because August and September showed us what we might be.
But like,
Exactly. You got to take the risk.
I'm not taking the risk, man. This team, there's
Jackson,
no way
the risk is risking 3 more wins. I'm pretty sure that's a big enough risk. That's not that big of a risk.
No, this pitching staff is not going to make it an entire season in efficiency. Kennedy always gets injured, so you're screwed there. Duffy gets injured a lot too. You're going to be down to some bad pitching eventually.
Brady Singer, call up. No.
Nah.
If we had to call up Singer this year, that would be disappointing. That would mean we're in a lot of trouble.
That would be cool.
No, it'd be terrible. Bad for development.
Listen, last year I had a 76 and 86, and they really let me down.
I think they let everybody down. Okay, another question.
No,
do you think this was Yost last year?
I'll let you go first.
I'm praying it is. Oh,
No.
I'm praying this is. Yes.
No.
Okay, here.
You know who our next managers are going to be? I already know.
Mike Matheny.
Yep.
Mike Matheny. But here. I'm going to bring up a little facts for you. So the Oakland Wildcard game, he put in a rookie pitcher that's never pitched in the playoffs. He's a starting pitcher, Yordano Ventura.
Did we
As
win
in
that
his
game? I
reliever.
forgot.
We did win that game, but he came in
okay.
as a reliever. He's a starting pitcher, rookie, and never pitched in the playoffs. He brings him in as a reliever, allows a grand slam. So basically, that should have copped it up there. Then in the 2014 World Series, Salvador Perez, keep in mind, I was playing terrible at the time, and overall was just playing poorly. He gets drilled in the leg. And so, what should we do here? We should put in J.R. Dyson and let Kratz finish all the game. Well, we didn't do that, and we ended up losing the World Series, as y'all know. But if we made that move there, I believe if we actually did have Dyson steal second, we would have scored Dyson. And so then again, we would have potentially won that game, won the World Series. So Ned has cost us in multiple
Don't say Ned has
positions.
cost us a World Series. He won us a World Series for the first time in 30 years.
What
Also,
move
shout out
did Ned
Shadow
make that
Wicker.
won us
Thanks
the
for
World
stopping
Series?
by the stream. I mean the podcast.
Did Ned win us the World Series when we were putting Ryan Madsen, who allowed 6 runs against the Astros?
Did we win that game?
We did, but not due to Ned.
Josh, you act like just because we won the game, the coach or the manager did all the work.
I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying you can't blame him on a game that we won.
You can, though.
Yeah, you can.
Like, when we beat Baltimore, I blame Andy Reid a lot for not trying to get more yardage. So
Oh, I thought we were
would've
talking
had
about
an
the
easier
Royals
field.
here still. I was about to say.
That's a lot of Andy Reid's fault. We won, but I still blame him for that because I'm being realistic. Just because you win doesn't mean you didn't make mistakes.
I see where you guys are coming from, but all I'm saying is, I don't like. Are you saying you hope for this is Ned's last year? Like you want him to get fired?
No, this is what I'm saying.
No,
I
I'm
haven't
talking
got
to
the answer
Sam.
to this question.
Sam's.
All right, go ahead, Sam.
No, Sam.
Okay,
Like, do you want him to
I
get fired or
personally-
retire?
I don't want him coming back next year. I don't care if it's fired or retired. I think he's pretty good for development, but I think next year we're kind of at the point where we need to contend. And Ned Yost, honestly, he's just like even last year, putting in Mar and overall, it's making terrible bullpen decisions. The guy, in my opinion, isn't a contending coach. He's more of a rebuild guy, and then you get rid of him. And so I think let him bring us to the rebuild. But I think next year we're ready to contend. I'll fire Ned, or I hope he retires because I don't want him on our team. Not this year, but this season.
Do you agree with that, Jackson?
To a degree. I think he's gonna retire. I don't think he wants to coach or manage after this
You
next
think
year.
this will be his choice?
I think it will be. I think he's gonna step down. I think he's wanted to build this team up, and him and Dayton, I feel like, have had conversations about this because Ned is very good at developing players. He gives them more opportunity and doesn't get like angry at them and like lets them go through growing pains, which is awesome because that's what happened with Moose, Haas, all of them, and we saw all that worked out. So I think I like that, but I wouldn't.
Hey, you guys
if he
keep
wants
talking.
if he wants to manage next year, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just yes, he's made really dumb moves, but the clubhouse really likes him, and it's really good to have that team chemistry. And unless you have a for sure great replacement, I wouldn't do it. I don't think Matheny's a better manager than Ned Yost. I really don't. I think Ned's a better manager, and we all agree that Ned makes horrible bullpen decisions, but really bringing Brandon Maurer in wasn't. I mean, yes, it was his fault, but I mean, we weren't good anyway. I mean, losing didn't hurt that bad. He kind of just had to try guys out, and that's why I thought last year towards the end was so fun because we just got to try a bunch of guys out. It didn't matter if we won or lost because we just got to see what these guys had, and I feel like yeah, Ned made some really bad moves, and us as fans were like, oh my god, you just costed us a win. We're so horrible, but in the long, they're just trying to figure out who can play and who can't really.
Yeah, I have a problem with like how he managed Joaquin Soria that year. How many saves or how much appearances he blew would have got us into the playoffs? The guy, I cannot stress enough. If you just like for me, I watch every year. And we could. I don't know if Mike Matheny. I mean, I don't might watch Mike Matheny too much, but one thing I like about him is he keeps the farm moving. Ned Yost during his time entirety here, it's like Whit Merrifield down on the farm. A bunch of other talent was down on the farm we never got to see until finally he gets a one-shot farm shots, and that's what I like to see. And so, honestly, I want him gone next year.
Carson Palmer is out D trash. Is that supposed to say R D trash? Because if so, then yes. The answer is yes. But
hold on, I gotta finish up this on Ned.
All right.
Listen, I'll always be appreciative for him for what he did for us.
Agreed. Yeah.
And part of, like to your point, I know he did not bring up some talent. But you have to understand the situation he's in. Whenever you're competing for a championship, you don't want a kid that has no experience playing in big moments or costing you games that could cost you your playoff seeding. So I felt like that had a lot to do with it. And then finally, to wrap it up with Joaquin Soria, I felt like he just kept putting him in because I mean, Dayton Moore paid him a lot of money. Maybe not a lot, but for a relief pitcher, it was a good amount. I feel like Ned felt the pressure to play him because you don't want to have all that money just sitting there.
All right. Next question. Should the Chiefs be scared of the Colts? Coming from Cole. I think the answer is yes. Pretty simple.
Yeah. We should be afraid of everyone.
Yeah.
There's no time not to be afraid of anyone. Whenever your defense...
Sorry. You can go.
Whenever your defense is as bad as the Chiefs' defense is, you can't take anyone...
Yep. Totally. You're cutting out the whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I heard him.
Wait, you actually were talking?
No, yeah, I don't know. I was talking.
No one on the podcast heard you.
I heard him.
I'm talking about the fans because they can only hear what I can hear. Also, score update. Dallas just scored a passing touchdown from Michael Gallup. Cowboys lead 9-6, going 9-6 with 24 seconds left in the half.
Ooh, my score prediction is looking pretty nice.
Are they kicking an extra?
Yeah, they're about to kick it. They're about to kick it.
How did Seattle get the 2 field goals?
Yep. All right, Jackson. So what did you say about the Colts?
I said, yeah, we should be scared of them, and I said we should be scared of anyone, any of the 11 teams left in the playoffs, any of the 5 left in the AFC, including
Oh,
ourselves.
that's all
so
you
I
were
guess the
saying?
4.
It showed that you were still talking. Oh, okay, never mind. We did hear you. Sam, are you scared of this Colts team?
No, I'm not. We're first seed, best offense in the league. Our defense plays pretty decent at home, and overall, but again, I'm a Chiefs fan, and I personally am scared of the Colts. But should Patrick Mahomes come out there and be worried and shaking in his boots? No, I don't think so. I think the Chiefs should play with confidence, but I think they should be. I think they should be. I think they should respect the Colts. I think that's the word. Respect the Colts, but I wouldn't be scared of them because the Colts should be the one that's scared. We're the 1 seed. We have the best offense in the league. We have Chris Jones, D Ford coming at you. I think the Colts should be scared. I don't think that the Chiefs should be carrying in a corner. I think the Colts should be.
Carson Palmer, the Arizona Cardinals quarterback, commenting in on a YouTube section. He says, "Who should we target in free agency in the offseason?" Well, Carson, if you want to be a Chief, let us know. No, but for real, I think Javanion Clowney.
You said that so many times. It's like a broken record.
We've all said that so much.
Well, he asked for it, so I'm giving my answer. What do you want me to say? I think we should go for Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
No.
I'm giving my honest answer.
Okay, just the question. I don't even know what we should do yet because
we need to get defense.
Well, that's obvious, but like what? I think a lot of what we do this offseason depends on this postseason. Because, I mean, I don't know. You went 12-4.
I like how you say that because here, if the Chiefs do good in this postseason, let's say they win the Super Bowl. That's me knocking on wood. A lot of people are going to want to come join this team because they want to do it again next year.
Kind of.
And that could be some good defensive players.
There's also the problem that you play in the Midwest.
Carson Palmer said, "Is Drew Brees a bum?" And then he said, "Am I a bum?" Because he's talking about Carson Palmer.
Yeah, no. Carson Palmer, you're a bum.
He is a bum.
You were the best USC quarterback.
All right, Sam, who do you think we should target?
Basically anyone on the defense that can tackle. I mean, I personally don't think we need to target someone in the offensive. I mean, unless you want maybe a lineman or like a Kelvin Benjamin, maybe cheap. But defense, I mean, I don't care who you sign as long as he's proven and solid. And I would like to re-sign Steven Nelson. So if I say anyone, I'd say Steven Nelson, assuming D Ford will be tagged.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming he'll be tagged, but Steven Nelson, and then basically just throw money at people on defense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, next question. We don't use Kelvin enough.
I agree.
It's a yes and no, but I don't know if we need to use him.
Oh yeah, you do.
Okay for screens. He's a big boy. He can block. All right, next coming from Dom.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you think Ward will do well versus the Colts?"
Travarius Ward.
Is he the corner?
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
He follows me on Insta, so that's pretty cool.
Is he?
Is he asking you this question?
No. Ward isn't. No, that's a Dom Ragged.
I know. Is that like his burner account?
No, but I don't think so. But Ward, he's a guy with the Reds, and Travarius, we signed him. From the Cowboys. Yes. We traded him, but I think I'll just go first.
Yeah, you can speak for me. You can speak for me.
But he honestly struggled against Seattle. But is it really him struggling or just Russell Wilson just placing dimes? Russell Wilson had an amazing day, but whenever looking towards the Raiders game, he played like a stud. So I think he'll do well against the Colts. In my opinion, Russell and Andrew Luck are both better than Derek Carr, and Derek Carr made some bad passes towards Ward. So I think he'll do worse than he did in the Raiders. but the guy honestly is underrated, and I think Chiefs fans give him way too much crap because Russell Wilson basically made great throws. But I think he'll have a solid game. I don't think he'll be our weakness, and I do think he should start over Scantry.
Yeah, okay, I know. I think I know who we're talking about now.
Yeah, I agree with Sam totally. That's what I was gonna say, word for word.
I think he's honestly a really good. I think he can be a really good corner. Andy Reid really talked good about him on 610 earlier this week, or I think it was before the Raiders game. Actually, I heard him talk about him. I just was kind of blanking. Really, if I'm not mistaken, he's number 35.
Yes.
Okay. So we're thinking the same guy. All right. No, he actually is not bad. He can really run.
Gostkowski just missed the field goal going into halftime. Cowboys are up 10-6. It was wide right. Thought I'd let you guys know, Sam, especially you, since you're very high up on your Cowboys.
No, but I think he's a decent corner, and he's 22, so you need to help him out and get him some reps because I think he has potential, and he's incredibly fast.
See, the thing is, if we would have just won the dang Seattle game, we could have put so many rookies and so many youngins against the Raiders, and we could see who's actually a pretty good defensive player. But no, we actually had to play.
Well, that would have meant they had 3 weeks off, which is too much.
Yeah, but I mean, it's whatever. But
wait, going my bad. But before you go into the next question, I have a question myself. But you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the next question.
Okay. All right. So I was going through Instagram while going through this. Maybe I could find an interesting topic, and I came upon this question. There's a Steelers fan that posted this, and it says, "Do you think Antonio Brown is jealous of the Juju MVP award?"
Yeah, I mean, I bet he is. But
I don't care. That's not.
In all fairness, Juju was a better receiver this year.
Agreed. Amen.
I agree, but it's like, that's really what makes you so mad, you definitely do not deserve to be on that team.
Hey, he's a diva. You mentioned it earlier. He's a diva.
Did you see what Peter King said today about him? Anybody?
No, I didn't hear it.
He said he wouldn't consider Antonio Brown a top 20 wide receiver in the league.
Okay, now that's pretty.
All right,
dumb.
Moving on. Next question's coming in from Austin. What do you think the Royals are going to do this year? We kind of went over that. So
yeah, we went over that.
I just wanted to give Austin a shout out, Austin. Thank you for.
I'm just gonna say they're gonna improve. That's all I'm gonna say. Improve.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't go down from what happened last year.
If they get worse, it's gonna be hard.
I agree on
If they have a worse
Neos.
record, mark down. I'll delete my account if they have a worse record because it ain't gonna happen.
Also, all right, so this is gonna be the end of the podcast. Surprised it actually went this long. It was a very short script. Nothing's going on in the NBA. Well, the Rockets did win 11 of the 12 last games.
James Harden's MVP.
Then that's when you're wrong, but we can talk about that later.
Giannis for MVP, my man.
Giannis.
It's Giannis, not Giannis.
I said Giannis.
Same thing. Close enough.
Dude, okay. After this podcast, we're going to talk to you about how to say people. Saquon, Gerard. It's Gerard. No, wait. No, how do you say it?
Just stop.
I say J-Rod Dyson.
J-Rod. It's Gerard. Gerard.
Anyway. I said J-Rod. I said J-Rod, Gerard. Same thing.
Anyway, this is the end of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to be posting some little clips now since we recorded this one. Also, we are trying to upload this to Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. So if any of you guys really know how to upload a podcast to there, please comment down. I will contact you guys. We would really appreciate the help. And if you guys are an editor and want to cut up our podcast into little segments about what we talk about, please let me know. Comment down. Talk to Sam. Talk to Jackson. We'd be glad to talk to you. But other than that, you guys have anything to say?
Nope. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in.
One of our listeners, who I'll keep anonymous, has said that he is very upset that Sam thinks Giannis is MVP over Harden.
I'm guessing. I'm going to take
you.
No, it's not. It's not, dude.
Does he go to LHS?
Our listeners don't know what LHS is, Josh.
Does he go to our school? Yeah, so you could have said yes. You could have said yes or no. That would have kept it more anonymous. I would have known.
I think Harden. Wait, I think Harden's better, but I'm going to go off the definition MVP, most valuable player. You take away Giannis from that team, I think
That
they're
team
complete
sucks.
crap.
Are you kidding me?
All right. It was good talking to you guys. I can't wait to see you guys
But
next
they got
boys.
Chris Paul.
Boys.
They
Boys.
got
We can
Chris
talk about
Paul.
this with.
Paul isn't even playing right
Oh my
now.
God.
I know, but I'm saying previously they have Chris Paul and they have Clint Capella, and they have a more, in my opinion,
Hey,
better starting lineup.
Hey, can I say
I
something?
wanna-
Can I say something? How about we
Yes.
talk about this with our special guest on Tuesday? He might know a little bit about it.
We can talk about it both times. I'm heated right now.
Well, we can talk about it after this podcast ends, because you guys definitely want to tune in for Tuesday's show. That is going to be probably the favorite episode I've done with this crew. I don't know if these guys can say the same, but this dude's definitely going to be interesting to talk about. Let's just say big baller brand. Like I said before, that's all I'm saying. Other than that, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment down whatever you want us to talk about, who you want on the show, and make sure to share this with your friends, guys.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, real threat.
I'm
Nelson Jackson
just
said
kidding,
it with that
just
aggressive.
Just kidding.
But yeah, guys, go Chiefs. Enjoy Wild Card Weekend, boys. It's been real. Other than that, KC3 Takes is out.